Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is the Project Dark, and I'm here today to talk about probably the most controversial topic I will ever talk about on the history of my channel. Considering how heated console debates can get. From the title of my video, you guys can obviously how I, sort of feel, and I guess I should just give you sort of my main points from there. Now, this video is a reaction directly to the E3 press conference of today, which is June 5th, 2012, I believe. And basically, the majority of the focus was on the Wii U, the new console will be launching in, well, we don't really know when. Sometime in the holiday season, I'm more than certain. We don't have a price or a date, but more on that later. So, before I go into the details, I mean, for those of you who haven't seen it, we're just trying to get some info. For those of you who have saw it and have very strong reactions to it, whether positive or negative, I'll just sort of break it down as simply as I can. This is going to be quite a long video, so I mean, I'm sure people will put bullet notes and comments, or so to speak, or argue over very minute details over the course of what I'm going to say. But I feel it's important. It matters to me, and I think it matters to a lot of people what I'm about to say. And I wouldn't bother. I really wouldn't bother if it wasn't important. Now, let's start with the basics. Nintendo needed to come through with this press conference. They lost a lot of money on the 3DS. That doesn't mean the 3DS is bad or it has bad games. By any means, I really like my 3DS. I like a lot about it. I like a lot of the games, and it's not about talking about that. But unfortunately, it didn't sell well. So they had to cut the price on 3DS. They had to take major cuts in their, their pay scale. I mean, I think management, like the high management, either had to lay off like something like a few, a huge chunk of their workforce, or they had to take a 40% cut to their pay, and they all took 40% instead of getting rid of all the jobs that they were providing, which is a great move. I mean, it's especially in this sort of day and age. But what ended up happening is so this press conference needs to reinforce to investors and stockholders that Nintendo still has its foothold on the market and will continue to deliver on the money that they are almost promising that they will make. E3 is never about the fans. That's a big part of it, and that's a big part of the discussion. And that's something that should be taken into consideration, and one thing I won't be looking at. So, realistically, this press conference was to show people, like, look, Nintendo is going to be making money. Now, I'll say this. I feel that on more than just a fan or purchaser or consumer level, Nintendo has also more than likely failed a lot of its stockholders in this conference. This delivery was very, very, very dismal, very, very, very shocking, at least I feel. So, I sat in. I actually had a bit of a viewing party, as funny as that sounds, for the viewing of the Nintendo press conference. New consoles usually brings a lot of buzz, a lot of interest, especially, and everyone's gonna have opinion and a say. Now, I'm trying to avoid generally what the popular opinion is. I know what mine is, and I'm just going to stick with that. Basically, we sat down and watched it. For those of you who don't know, Shigeru Miyamoto, he opened it up. We didn't really see much of him after the opening. And he opened up saying Pikmin 3 will be one of the flagship and Nintendo games that's going to be coming out for the Wii U. Now, I started off with a little bit of I would say, I was skeptical at the beginning, but then I saw Pikmin 3 and I'd say a little excited. I'd say I saw that and I thought, wow, this, maybe they'll really pull through, and I might have my opinion slightly changed. That isn't really to say that, let's just say it like this. Before this press conference, I was very impartial to Nintendo. I'd kind of let go of the childhood sort of wonder and the fact that they needed to represent me as a child and as a human being. Kind of let go of that a lot. This has really, really, I'd say it upset me. It did physically. I'll go into that a little bit later, but let's just say it like this. So Pikmin 3 shows up, and then really nothing else. We had Scribblenauts, which was also going to be coming to the 3DS. We had 3DS, sorry. We had new Super Mario Wii, which was going to the 3DS. We had Wii Fit, new add-on to play with the Wii U, and A few third-party additional Batman Arkham City, a port of a year-old game. Yeah, so I mean that's kind of like where the majority of people are going to be kind of spending their time and bashing on the details. I don't really want to go into the game lineup or why that was a bad decision or anything like that. What I kind of want to go into is this sense of is disillusionment. It's the sense that, you know, their big flagship title, they were trying to basically replace Wii Sports. And I'll explain this to people as easily as I can. Nintendo Land is trying to replace Wii Sports in the sense that they want casual gamers to see the brand recognition from Nintendo Land. They'll see Zelda, they'll see Mario, they'll remember the mini games associated with those names, and then purchase the full product when it comes out. It's a very intelligent business move in terms of if you get someone to buy it, it will be effective. The problem is I don't really know if people will buy it. And that is to say, too, the Wii U doesn't need to be made. That it's plain and simple. There's a hardware upgrade component to it. It can do more with the graphics, but if you look at the lineup, it was completely underutilized. The main development teams of Nintendo did nothing with this new hardware. Nothing at all. There was nothing besides 2D and simplistic, the same things they were doing on Wii, but with a higher resolution. That doesn't mean anything to anyone at this point. At least not to me. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, 1080p. That doesn't make, you know, having this access to 3D depth and high hardware, you know, like, it feels sort of like a lack of true effort in setting some sort of ambience or charm or in any sense. So, boy, and the thing is, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, and I don't want to miss out stuff. So let's sort of start with the basics. Nintendo had to show that they had to show to stockholders, consumers will buy our product. They have to explain to people, to stockholders more importantly, that there is a reason, there is an appeal for this, right? And so they went a lot into the social media of the fact that you could constantly update, you know, basically almost like Twitter on Wii. Your friends or whatever would, you know, have a little comment about like how they were doing or something to do related to video games. There was sort of a Dark Souls. I don't know if you guys know about that implementation, but in a Mario game. In the new Super Mario's Wii, on a level-to-level basis, you'd have your friends, you know, leave little messages about the level, like, you know, oh man, using the, you know, the flying squirrel suit in this level is way too much fun, or I broke the level doing this, or something along those lines, right? So that's a really good idea. But the only problem is that kind of idea is so easily, so easy to copy and to take and to make their own. Within about a few months, Microsoft and Sony are going to be able to create that exact same sort of experience across all their platforms with so easily. It's not like very innovative in the sense that it takes a long time for companies to kind of catch up to that sort of ideologies and you know, and it could be the way that they were going to go in anyways. Now, what ends up happening is that the Wii U, to me, is completely unappealing to a hardcore fan. It had absolutely no software games that I would want to play. None. There wasn't a one. There wasn't a single one that even interests me in the least. And the thing is I, as a consumer, am more than have a number of interests. I've been a long-standing Nintendo fan for a very long time. I mean, I used to have heated debates. I used to, you know, put my own reputation, I feel, on the line for this company, and they never asked me to. This is the thing. They never asked anyone to do that. They never asked, you know, they used to say, "Hey, Project Dark, you mind, you know, saying, you know, the GameCube is the best console," and going on topic boards and just flaming people on GameFAQs who think Nintendo sucks. No, they never asked me that. They never, you know, required that, but I gave it. I gave it anyways, and I gave it willingly because I loved their product. I loved their line. I loved protecting the things that I loved. And Nintendo really, with this press conference, has pushed me completely away. it's very apparent Nintendo has no idea what they had with the Wii and no idea what consumers want. It's very apparent because, okay, like I feel strongly that hardcore gamers allow the industry to sort of perpetuate in the sense that, you know what, if you can't get the casual gamer, you might as well get someone who will always buy your games always, right? But when you lose those people, you're relying on a small percentage of very finicky and very... You never know what the next most popular thing is going to be. You can never rely on an average consumer to buy your product. You can't rely on that. But you can create brand loyalty. That's an important part of marketing, and they just do not understand that the casual gamer or the average consumer has no particular attachment to their product, so they aren't going to buy the second one because to them, the Wii is a one-off. Nintendo, as a product, or the Wii U, isn't branded in such a way that an average consumer will see, oh, well, that's the new Wii U. Well, I mean, I really loved my Wii, so I'm really... I don't know too many people who will, you know, go out of their way to defend and, you know, to the ends of the earth, the hardcore sort of, you know, the people who would actually even bother, right? It's like someone saying, I really like my iPad. Well, they like it, and there's some Apple fans who are fanatical, but I'd say the average consumer, if you were like, I don't like iPad, they wouldn't be like, you're stupid. I'm talking the average person. The average person wouldn't be like, you're stupid, you're wrong, and would fight to the ends of the earth for that company, right? And then when it comes to the same sort of thing with Wii, the average consumer isn't going to, like, if I were to say, oh, the Wii U sucks, they're not going to be like, no, it's the greatest product in the entire world. If I say the Wii sucks, no, it's the greatest product in the entire world. No, they're not going to. They're going to be like, oh, why? They're interested. Like, you know, and particularly when it comes to hardcore gamers, their opinion kind of matters. It's just so the sense of they feel like consumers are going to fully and commit to buying this upgraded product based on the fact that they bought the first one. That is completely what they're banking on, and it is so gambly and high risk that I can't help but feel they're not going to get a payoff because guess what? The people who will buy your console were the people who are gone. The hardcore fan base is gone. If you are a gamer, you do not play your Wii religiously. You play your Wii, you occasionally buy games, and I could be very wrong, and I could be disillusioned, but I feel like if you play a lot of video games, you are not playing a lot of video games on the Wii. That is my simple basis for my argument. You may play a lot of one game, but you will not play a multitude of many different video games across one platform known as the Wii. You will probably more than likely, if you're a hardcore gamer, have a PC, an Xbox, or a PS3. That's basically it. You may own a Wii and be a hardcore gamer, but when it comes down to it, like, if you own just a Wii, I mean, in most of the true game, I don't like to use words like that, but I would say people who identify their main hobby as gaming, they would say that the Wii is probably not their favorite console, and you know, seems to wow them because of just it was saturated. The market was just so saturated with these party games, these simple like casual games, and then Nintendo realizing that the casual gamer market, I'm sorry, it's lucrative. You make a lot effing more money with casual gamers. They're willing to just buy stuff without really even doing research or any kind of brand commitment. Exactly what I've been talking about, and that's exactly it. But the problem is it's going to backfire. They aren't going to buy the Wii U because of the name. They have to see a value. They have to see an inherent reason why your product is the most amazing and most entertaining thing they've ever seen, and they need to buy it, right? And when it comes down to it, you want to know why so many casual gamers bought a Wii? Because their friend told them to buy a Wii, or they went to their friend's house, or you know what? I think this is what happened. This is what happened. Nintendo fans bought a Wii. They showed their parents, because of how simple it was to use, they were like, hey, why don't you try using my Wii? And they're like, oh, that was so much fun. You know, I want to buy a Wii, right? And they see these games and this whole other fitness thing, which is huge and a big business, you know, opportunity, and they see the value, so they buy the product. But then what's going to happen now is the Wii U is going to come out, and most of the casual gamer is not going to buy Wii U on launch day, so they're going to go with pretty much, if they're going to buy it, they're going to ask the people they know who are reliable gamers and people who are truly interested in that field. They're going to do research by the people who propel the industry constantly by constantly being completely absorbed in the content that they love. And this is the thing, is if they have a bad opinion and they feel abandoned, guess what? They're not going to tell the casual person to buy their product. They're going to say, yeah, don't worry about it. Just go get Apple's new, just if you really kind of want to, just get an iPad and go to the App Store and you pretty much get the same thing, to the same effect. And this is the thing, they're banking on Nintendo Land. Now, generally speaking, because it has like an amusement park feel, that might appeal to like maybe a good, I don't want to make up any kind of statistics, but I don't feel like as many people would be into a simplistic tennis game as they would an amusement park themed game. It just doesn't have that mass appeal. People like sports, they can relate to it. People can relate to amusement park, but I think they won't imagine that an amusement park video game is nearly as good as the real thing. And that, I mean, it's true. They're right in that assumption. So banking on the fact that Nintendo Land is going to sell like crazy and then continue to, like I said, create that brand net recognition so that they'll come back and buy other games instead of just leaving the, it to the party games, which is what sort of happened with the Wii. So they kind of learned from that mistake, but they're making this problem of forgetting the people who bought that Wii on launch day and the people who talk so proudly about their product for so long and why Nintendo has, stayed an empire for forever. And I really feel like this is the end. This is the end of the Nintendo Wii's, or sorry, not Nintendo Wii's, Nintendo's long and truly magnificent reign. Like, this is it. I don't know if they're going to go bankrupt within the next couple years, or they're going to pretty much lose so much money on the Wii U. And I'm not the kind of analyst that will be able to say that, but instantly, when the majority of the buzz that you have is negative, and I'm certain there's no one who walked away there saying Nintendo Wii U is going to be amazing. No, people can go ahead and say it might be good, it still could be good. Well, this is kind of good. No, that is not enough. There's going to be too many people who say, I hate this. This is stupid. Almost like I am right now, who are going to continue to push it. I'm not going to. I don't need to bother. I'm well over that stage in my life where I don't need to do that. But there's going to be so many people who do that. And then guess what happens? Then you have these other people who are saying, well, it might get good, or there's games that are going to come out that will be good. I mean, the next Zelda is going to be good, right? But they didn't show it. Right? They didn't show it, and there's less concrete evidence to purport the idea that optimism is the way to go. And I'm sorry, cynicism always is much more popular, and that's going to be a big problem for Nintendo, is overcoming that. And they just made a completely idiotic move. It's just it's the stupidest move I've ever seen. It was like a stockholders conference is, look how we appeal to the casual gamers again. Look at how we're going to appeal to them, but this time we're asking them not to just buy a new piece of software or a cheap piece of hardware that ranges in the range of $50 to $75. We're going to, I mean, realistically, this product is probably going to cost at least in the $150+ range. And to ask consumers to buy this brand new product to enjoy basically more of the same doesn't really make sense to a consumer. The idea that this whole rigmarole of just, I have to buy this brand new Wii controller, brand new system, I can use a lot of my old accessories, but like, the Wii Fit stuff, that didn't even look interesting to the casual gamer. It's like, well, it looks like Wii Fit, except like now you've got a screen to look at while you do it, I guess, and you can use Wii Fit while someone else is using your TV. But I don't know, for people who use Wii Fit, I imagine family households don't have a big issue. It's like, well, I want to work out on Wii Fit. And the other person's like, well, no, I want to watch TV and be lazy. And it doesn't really happen. I don't imagine there's too many family dynamics where the Wii U becomes an instant convenience. And it's like exactly what I need in my home. To be able to play and work out on the Wii while my other partner or friend or whatever is watching TV and doing their own thing. It's silly. It's stupid. It's needless. It's not the right market. It's not the way to do it. There's the stupid, dancing goddamn game, it was a singing game, and there was a dancing game as well. I mean, who am I kidding? They were both in there, and they were both appealing to this casual gamer. But the thing is, do you want to know who's watching E3? People who really care about the industry, people who are like experts, big fans. No one takes the time to watch E3 or all the actual watch E3 and not watch the clip show unless it's unless they're just sort of I would say I would use the word hardcore fan, hardcore gamer. Like, gaming is their main hobby. That's how they identify themselves. That's what they feel associated to, that culture. They are the ones who are watching E3. They're the ones that create buzz. They're the ones that will continue to create buzz for your product. And they created initial buzz. That's what they did. Nintendo was able to do it well, but I'm sure there was a number of people, I'm sure celebrities at some point must have chipped in at some point, that were able to say, like, this is a really good product and it's fun and it's easy to use. Even old people. My grandma uses this, you know? It's the sense, oh, well, if grandma can use it, well, I certainly can use it. But now what's the appeal? What's the need? Why do they need to upgrade? Why? You know? And to them, it's not the same thing. To me, when I see a new console, I think hardware upgrades, better graphics, faster gameplay. I think, and this has been the way for a long, long time. I mean, Wii was the first console to really change. Okay, it's not just an upgrade, it's a complete change on perspective, right? But the thing is, the Wii U is basically an upgrade with a new controller. Like you see, and the person who's going to care about the upgrade is not the casual gamer. So they're like, well, that doesn't make sense, so it's just like a new controller. That's what they're going to look at it. So it's a new controller, and what can you do with it? Well, it's like a full screen tablet thingy, and it just won't be worth the cost. It won't. It'll look like an accessory, an add-on. It will, like, it replaces the Wii in a sense. I understand that, but it just, it's just very, very frustrated. I mean, this video's gone on way too long. Way too long. Unfortunately, I feel like I have more I could say, but when it comes to this sort of unplanned and long-standing sort of video, there's only so much I can say. And so I'm pretty much going to end it there. I'm going to say in conclusion, though, that I'm extremely saddened, in a sense. I actually want to admit something kind of embarrassing. I left the Nintendo press conference, and not left, I didn't literally leave it, but I finished watching it, and I literally, like, you know, me and a bunch of friends, we'll kind of turn off the TV. At first we were very angry, and then we were very depressed. And there's something about this press conference that is almost indescribable in how it almost instantly makes you feel like Nintendo truly forgot about the people who loved them. You know? Truly, unconditionally love them. And it's just, they forgot. They forgot who bought the GameCube. You know, they forgot who bought a Wii on launch day. You know? They really sort of said that person isn't giving us enough money. So, and I really feel like I want to be vindicated, in my opinion, of course. In a sense, I mean, when Nintendo didn't fail, I look like an idiot, and for saying this kind of thing and putting it publicly out there. But I think this is the mark of the end for Nintendo. I don't think it's going to be as dramatic as Sega's fall. I feel like more than realistically what will end up happening, and I think there's a lot of people who would agree with this opinion, is Nintendo's pretty much going to kind of going to get bought out by somebody. Most of their titles with it. I don't know whom. And I believe they'll probably be replaced with an Apple related product. That seems to be a lot of the buzz. Apple is poised to more than step their foot into the gaming industry. They've got a lot backing that and a lot of money to be made with it. And they've got a really good sense as a company as to what consumers want and think are cool. And they're going to do great. And I'm certain they will. And it's just very disappointing. It's very upsetting to see your years of dedication to a brand and to see it just sort of like crumble before you, or to be forgotten, I guess, because it hasn't crumbled yet. It's just a press conference, but it really feels like they left behind their hardcore fans by in no way taking into consideration what would be best in terms of appealing to them. And it literally was, how can we possibly make money and turn ourselves around? And I feel it was like a desperation move. It really is. It feels completely desperate. It wasn't the calculated risk they should have taken. Anyways, as always, with any of my videos, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I do truly appreciate it. And I wish this is a genuinely, sorry, as genuinely as possible. I wish everyone to have a great day, and I would love to have a great dialogue with some very intelligent and different opinion people. I would really like that. I'd like to be convinced otherwise of my opinion, and I mean that genuinely. And I really hope that in the comment section, people, for the most part, are considerate of the fact that at the end of the day, it's a product, it's a brand. They don't care about any of the conversations we're having, except if it directly results in them losing money. So, that being said, I already tried to end this a few times, I guess like 3 minutes ago. So, went it off here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys at my next video, and have yourselves a great day.